Hey guys, this is Mrs. Pickett coming at you live from room 205. I am so excited to come back at you with another video, and today we're going to talk more about decimals and how we can write decimals in all forms. So when we spoke last week about whole numbers, we talked about that we can write whole numbers in standard form, written form, and expanded form. And expanded form was the one we spent most of our time on. Let's just do a quick review on what that expanded notation looks like. So for example, let's say I have the number 2,420. If I was going to write that number in expanded form, I would write 2 times 10 to the fourth. Excuse me, rewind. That's to the third. My bad. Plus 4 times 10 to the second plus 2 times 10. Some of you like to put the first up there, but we don't really need that, so I'm just going to put 2 times 10. So remember when we use expanded form with exponents, we always think about how many zeros would come after the number, or what place is that number sit in. So for the 2, I've got 2,000, so it would be 2 times 10 to the third, because 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000, right? Okay, great. So let's go ahead and let's think about decimals. So for example, let's say I had 245 thousandths of a gram, okay? So my question is, how do I write that in all the different forms that we have? So remember, I've got 245 thousandths. Oops, I made another mistake. Look at me go here. That would be thousandths. Sorry, not thousands. Thousandths. So you'll see how that looks a little different. And I want to write that in just a standard form. And remember, standard form is just when we put that number in just number form. So now I've got my handy dandy place value chart, and I want to use that to help me with my standard form. So remember, when we have thousandths of a gram, I don't have a whole number yet. So I have to put a 0 in my ones place. And then when I put that number in the rest of my place value chart, I have 245 thousandths. So I write that number 200 in my tenths, 400 in my hundredths, and 5 in my thousandths. So it's like saying I've got 2 tenths, 4 hundredths, and 5 thousandths to give me 245 thousandths. Okay, so if I think about those fractions as I'm writing my number in expanded form, I'm going to have 2 tenths plus 4 hundredths plus 5 thousandths. But I haven't exactly pulled that apart as much as I wanted to. I have to take it one more step, and I need to throw some multiplication in there. So instead of saying 2 tenths, it's actually 2 times 1 tenth, because that 2 sits in the tenths place, plus 4 times 1/100th, because the 4 sits in the hundredths place. And then finally, I'm going to have 5 times 1,000th, because the 5 sits in the thousandths place. And remember, we call all of this the expanded form. Don't forget that. Expanded form is really important. And the third form that we have is the written form, or you might actually hear it called number name. So if you hear that, it's the same thing. So if we're writing in the number name, either way, it's the same thing. So if I'm going to write that 245 thousandths in number name or in written form, it would just be 245 thousandths. So let's do one more just very quickly together. Let's say that our number was 632 thousandths. So how would I write that, first of all, in standard form? In standard form, that number is just written as a decimal. So it would be 0.632 thousandths. In expanded form, we have 6 in the ones place. So it would be 6 plus 1/10. Because remember the 6, you have 6 out of 10, 6/10. Okay? And that should be a multiplication symbol. Plus 3/100ths. So I would say 3 times 1 over 100 plus 2 thousandths, which would be 2 times 1 over 1,000. And finally, our written form, or that number name form, would be 632 thousandths. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. Thanks again for watching. And your joke I'm going to leave you with is, where do pencils go for vacation? See you soon.